So, I have 20 fragrances in my collection. Probably could have picked out more, but I stopped at 20. The topic is, in 2021, are these fragrances still worth the price of admission? Are they still worth you spending your hard-earned money to get? I got 20 of them. You want to know what those 20 are? Meet me on the other side of this intro, and we're going to talk about it. Stay right there. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. It is your boy Trey Sense, and you know how we do it on the channel. We got a little bit of a discussion, a little bit of a review, whatever you want to call it. We're finna talk fragrances. So what I need y'all to do is, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead, give me the sub. I don't care if you don't hit the icon and all that notification stuff, just sub. You'll get around to watching the video when you get around to it, okay? Now, for those of you that are repeat offenders and keep returning to the scene of the crime, thank you. I know what you came here for, so I ain't gonna waste no more of your time. Let's get right to it. I managed to pick out 20 fragrances from my collection that at some point in time had quite a bit of fanfare. Some of the fanfare has died down, some of it hasn't. Now, what we're gonna discuss, are these fragrances still worth the price of admission? Are they still worth you spending your money to get? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Let's get right to it. You ready? The first one is from the house of Mont Blanc, and it is Mont Blanc's Legend. My personal opinion, I like this fragrance. I like this fragrance a lot. It smells good to me. It's a nice, clean, masculine scent, sort of barbershoppy, sort of clean. Not really a lot of citrus in it, not really heavy on the woods or anything like that. Nice, clean, easy to wear, masculine type of fragrance that I think you can pull off any time of the year, whether it's winter, spring, summer, or fall. You can wear it on a date, you can wear it to the office, you can wear it to church. Very versatile fragrance. Now, all of these are gonna have one pivotal point, however you say it, and that is gonna be price versus performance. Meaning, example, Beverly Hills Polo Club Blaze. I know a lot of people ain't gonna rock with it because it's Beverly Hills Polo Club. I rock with it, and I'll tell you why. It's $13 or $14, and it performs like a $60, $70 fragrance. That's price for performance. Can't beat it. So that's gonna be the criteria on whether I think it's still worth the purchase. Now, granted, this is just my opinion, so I don't want anybody to get bent out of shape, but I'm just giving you one of the criteria. And of course, it has to smell good, people. Brings me back to this one. It's a good smelling fragrance. Now, I can't remember exactly what I paid for this. It's a 50 ml, but I think you can get this online in the 50, or maybe it's 100 ml for around $35. And at that price point, I say yes. Is it the best performer in the world? No, it's not, but we've talked about that. Fragrance doesn't always have to last you 15, 16 hours for it to be a good fragrance. Sometimes it just needs to get you through whatever occasion you're, whatever your situation may be. You know, whether you're at work and you have to, respray it on your lunch break, fine. Whether you got a little date, little situation going on, okay, church, whatever. This fragrance will fit any of those occasions just fine. It's not a classy, dressed up type of fragrance, but I would imagine if you put on a suit and tie and wore this, it would kind of dress it up a little bit. And boy, the traffic just kind of stopped. And it's like that sometimes on the highway. You hear the birds, nature chirping, playing in the foliage. Oh yeah, Trey gets in touch with his inner self. Oh yeah, you got to. My inner self likes to smell good too. Just kidding, y'all. Nonetheless, if I had to say one or the other on this fragrance, is this still worth your purchase? Yes. If you don't have this fragrance, should you pick it up? Yes, I think you should. Some fragrances that remind me of this, Tommy Bahama Maritime's got the same type of scent, and Ed Hardy Skulls and Roses, same type of scent. And they all, to me, are clones or copies of Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce, and I like it. Mercedes-Benz Man, same thing. It has the same. Yeah, is it Man? Yeah. And the little blue key fob, same type of note. So, yeah. But is this worth the price of admission still? In my book, yes. If I ran out of this, I would pick it up. But apparently, I haven't been wearing this very often, so because it's still full. But if you can get this for $25 to $35, being the 50 mil or the 100 mil, personally, I think it's still worth the price of admission, still worth the purchase. Let's get right to it. Let's get to a heavy hitter. Let's just get right to it. Prada Luna Rosa Sport. This is one I have not had in my collection very long. I picked it up around Christmas. Man, oh man, oh man. And this is 100 mil, and it was 50 bucks. I'm currently looking for the Prada Luna Rosa Black as well. Yeah, I'm currently looking for that one. I'm looking to collect a lot from the Prada line. I've been seeing them at, I can't get this top back on here. I've been seeing them pop up at Burlington's. When I finish this video up, get it ready to edit, I'm probably gonna clean up, jump in my ride, and head to Huntsville to Burlington to see if I can run up on it and just get out, because it's supposed to be a pretty day here today. Nonetheless, do I think this fragrance, Prada Luna Rosa Sport, is still worth the price of admission? Yes, absolutely. Again, if you get it for the right price. 50 bucks for this 100 mil. It's Prada. It's very well made. It smells good. Can you find other powdery scents out there? Yeah. Are there better powdery scents? Again, I don't know. I mean, because you got Perry Ellis White that kind of smells like this as well. That kind of fits that. Same thing as Lamel, however you say it. They're all kind of in that same vein. Perry Ellis White over this, I don't know. Perry Ellis White is very inexpensive. 14 to 20 bucks for 100 mil. 50 bucks. Does this smell just a little bit different, a little bit better? I think so. Does this perform stellar? It's okay. It's average. 1.5 to 2 hours projection. 4 to 6 hours of longevity. That's off of me. 50 bucks. Again, I just keep thinking to myself, Trey, it's Prada. It's Prada. And not to sound like I'm just jumping on the name Prada and being happy because it's a Prada fragrance. That's not it. But it is made with a little bit better quality than the Perry Ellis. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know Perry Ellis is a house I love. Inexpensive fragrances that do what they're supposed to. I love the house of Perry Ellis. Most of the time, if I run across a Perry Ellis fragrance that I don't have, I just buy it. That's just me. I buy it, bring it home, put it in my collection because I generally like it. And I understand that this is a $15 to $20 fragrance, so it's not going to smell like a $100 fragrance, but it's not supposed to. It's supposed to smell like a $20 fragrance, you know, that performs maybe like a $20 fragrance, but I'm okay with that because it's a $20 fragrance. So sometimes you get lucky and get a gem like Perry Ellis 360 Red and like the aforementioned Perry Ellis White. Those are all Cobalt. All those Perry Ellis Spirited. All those are great performing fragrances for the price. Now, back to this one. I'm gonna have to say yes because just that one spray has filled this room. It is powdery. It is slightly spicy. I don't get the sport in this. Sometimes I think they just slap a name on a fragrance to sell it, and this is not a sporty fragrance at all. Sport, well, I mean, I guess if you were going yachting or you were going to play golf or something like that, but I still don't see it being a sporting scent. I see this being a romantic scent, a date night scent. Again, it's a very versatile fragrance. Winter, summer, spring, or fall, I think this fragrance could be worn. I would not necessarily wear this on the hottest of days, but I would definitely wear it on a summer's night if I was going on a date. I was going, you know, take a little lady out on a dinner date to a movie and then maybe back to her spot to watch some more TV. I would definitely wear this fragrance. So for 50 bucks, $49.99, I think the 100 ml of Prada Luna Rosa Sport is still a win for me. And you may have better alternatives because I know they got all this stuff out there now that's $300 or $400 and all of that stuff, but still, 50 bucks, which to me is no longer a cheapie. Once I get past $30, I'm breaking out some bread. So I expect a little bit more, but I think this one in the $50 range does everything that it's supposed to do. Now that's just Trey Sense opinion. All right, y'all want another heavy hitter? Let's see. Let's go to one that was real common and then it just fell off. From another one from Mont Blanc, Star Walker. I'm gonna put this in the air because it's been a while since I sprayed this one. I got this one in Nashville, Tennessee, several years ago. Seemed like it was Valentine's Day weekend, man, and I was so happy to find this fragrance. And I found it on clearance for $15. So I was extremely happy because all the reviewers were talking about it. I think I had just started watching cologne reviews, and I was like, man. Went into a brand new TJ Maxx there in Nashville, and it was $15. I was like, gotta have it. And I was so ecstatic. My collection was still growing at that time too. So is this still worth the purchase? Absolutely, absolutely. It's just a crisp, clean scent. It's just hard to beat. It's just hard to beat. I don't know how much longer this is gonna be out there, how much longer it's gonna be in rotation. Good solid cap on there, which I know the cap doesn't matter, but still just a good solid cap, nice bottle, great smell. I love it. It's just so crisp and so clean. I would love to keep this in my collection forever, and as you see, I have put a dent in it. So Mont Blanc Star Walker, yes, and in my opinion it is still worth buying. Sticking with the house of Mont Blanc, a fragrance that was all the rave because a certain reviewer that spins around and claps his hands and before he talks about the fragrances and then charges you $5,000 for a bottle of cologne with the cap on it that looks like it came off of something that you would get at the Dollar Tree. You know what I'm talking about? Hype this fragrance. So it was all the rave, and now all of a sudden it just don't get talked about anymore. You guessed it, another Mont Blanc. Individual. Is this fragrance still worth the price of admission? Yeah, it still smells good. It still smells like strawberry dryer sheet. It still smells like fabric softener. It still smells good and clean. Is this one gonna be for everybody? No. This is gonna be one of those fragrances that a lot of you guys who have matured fragrance-wise and have matured financially and can afford a little bit better fragrance, maybe not so much for you, but for those of you who are trying to start your collection and who need a fragrance to fit this mold of clean, fresh, easy to wear, I always got to find an atomizer so I don't spray myself in the head. Yeah. Occasions that I would wear this fragrance right here. To me, this is another one of those that is cookout friendly. Oh yeah. Cookout friendly, outside. I wouldn't wear this in an office or a closed up space. I would wear this if I were going to be outside at the cookout or something like that, because I could see this getting away and being too strong. Definitely would wear this at night. Definitely would wear this on a warm spring day, but not scorching hot, warm spring day. Let the breeze, catch the neck or whatever, get in the air and just, tickle everybody's fancy. So the price point on this is very inexpensive. Normally when you see this, it's about 19 bucks. And for $19, do I think it smells good? Yes. This is one you want to temper them sprays a little bit though. 3 sprays, maybe 4 sprays, because I can see this getting away and irritating a person that wasn't used to being around strong fragrances and that didn't like strong fragrances. Nonetheless, is it still worth the price of admission? In my opinion, yes. For about 50% of you. The other 50% just is gonna say it's too synthetic. It doesn't smell natural. None of this stuff smells natural. It's all synthetic. It's scented water. It's not natural. Just saying. Nonetheless, is this worth the price of admission? I think so. Yeah. Mont Blanc, individual or individual if you're sophisticated. All right. Man, we got a lot to get to, guys. 12 minutes, 14 minutes in, I just got 4. So we're going to be here for a while. Let's get another heavy hitter out of the way. from the House of Dior Savage. Is this still worth the price of admission? It's expensive. Bottle like this 2-ounce bottle costs you what, $80? $70? So let's talk about some of the positives. It smells good. It's different. Projects well, performs well. It'll get you noticed. $70. And see, that's where, for me, it's hard, because it's hard for me to just hand out $70 for a fragrance. You know, especially one this common. I'm 45, so I like to be noticed by my fragrances. I like to be complimented on my fragrances, but because I smell good, not because they're loud. So, is this one worth the price of admission still? I purchased mine from Macari, and I got this for $28. And yes, it's real. You can look at the cap, see the Dior cap, see the atomizer. You know, everything is legit. Even on the bottom, see the Dior. So it's legit. I got fortunate. So at the price I paid for it, yes. But it wasn't a full bottle either. It was probably about right here when I got it. It was probably about 80% full. So for me, on that purchase, was it worth the $30? Yes. Full retail, I'm gonna have to say no. I'm gonna have to say no. I would invest in the EDP or the parfum, which I'll plan on buying the parfum with this. And then I'll have all three, the EDT, the EDP, and the parfum. At full retail, because I don't see this ever hitting discounters, ever. I don't see many Dior fragrances at all at TJ Maxx, Ross, Burlington, Marshalls, whatever, wherever, Bells, wherever you shop. I don't see many of these in discounters. So with that being said, I'm gonna have to say that there's better alternatives to this out there, cheaper, that full retail for Savage, the EDT, is a no for me. To me, it is not still worth the price of admission, simply because the EDT to me is better for a man of my age, and so is the parfum. Now, for you younger guys, maybe this is what you need because it's louder, projects better. I'm a guy that likes to kind of slide into the room as opposed to kick in the door. Now, young Trey Sense, this would have been me all day long. Kick in the door, and like what Biggie say, kick in the door, wave in the fofo. Yeah, that would have been me. But as a 45-year-old man, I'm a little bit more subtle and a little bit more toned down, so just a little too loud for me. Now, that's just my opinion, so don't get mad. I know there's some Savage lovers out there that is like, what? Man, this the... Okay, that's your opinion, bro. Don't come at me. Don't come at me, bro. But I'm not saying it's not a bad fragrance, and I'm not saying it doesn't smell good, because it does. I'm just saying, for the price that you're going to pay for a Savage product, I mean a Dior product, I would go with the EDP or the parfum. That's just me. Still a good cologne, still smells good, still does everything it's supposed to do. But for that $75 to $100 price tag, let's get an OG of the game out the way. From the house of Armani, Acqua di Gio. Is Acqua di Gio still worth the price that it fetches? I have seen this at some discount stores, especially around the Christmas time, pre-COVID. It wasn't cheap there. It was still $50, $60. I mean, it just fetches a high premium. I don't want to sound disrespectful to a legend, but in my opinion, this scent has just been done so much that I'm gonna have to say no. I'm gonna have to say no. This is not still worth the price of admission, simply because we had talked about Perry Ellis Red earlier. To me, it's a better version of this. And believe it or not, there is a fragrance that you can get at Walmart that's like $9 or $10, made by Bell Cam. It's got a G on the bottle, and it's their impersonation of this, and it is honestly better than this one. I just think for the money that you have to pay for Acqua di Gio, that it just doesn't meet that price point with performance. You're talking about $75 to $100, whether you get a 60, 50 mil to 100 mil, and a fragrance that may give you an hour of projection, hour and a half at best, maybe 4 hours of longevity, and you're spending $100? Does it smell good? Yes, it smells amazing. But I can't see it. Especially when I know I can go to Walmart and get that G that smells just as good, and I'll tell you even better. Try it if you want. Test my theory. Go to your local Dollar General. Go to where the body sprays are. There is a black and goldish color can, and it's going to have a dragon on it, and it's going to say Masculino. It is a clone of this. Is it exact? No. But it is stronger, and it smells just as good, and women have complimented me on that fragrance for years, because I have been wearing it for years, because this just does not perform on my skin. I mean, honest to goodness, guys, it's about $4. And when you spray it on, you're going to get that body spray type of vibe. It's going to choke you out in the beginning. But when that sucker dies down, and it will die down quickly, it's going to project, and it's going to stay on your skin and your clothing for quite some time. And it's $3 or $4 as opposed to $75 to $100 and up for this. Because if you buy this with the gift set with the facial, the aftershave, and the shower gel, and you're looking at $155 for this. In no way is it worth that. And I hate to be so disrespectful to a classic, but you got to perform. That's just it. And this does not. So check out those two that I just mentioned, and yeah, I think you'll like those if you're looking for something like that for that price range. That's just my opinion. Yeah, another OG in the game, Cool Waters. Cool Water. Some people get upset because I add an S, but it's just water. Is this a classic? Mm-hmm. Does this still smell good? Mm-hmm. Does this still work for me? Yes. Price point. It's all about the price point. I get this big old 100 ml bottle for about, what, $20? And it's still cool. It's still refreshing. Ah, that smells good. Slightly green, slightly aquatic. Does it smell like green Irish tweed? Sorta. It smells like a clone of green Irish tweed would smell. Does it smell good? Yeah. Is it worth the price that you're going to pay for it? Yes. Does it meet price versus performance? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Does it perform all day? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Not anymore. It doesn't perform like it used to. But the point is, it's sweet, it's aquatic, it's green. It is a chick magnet. Women love this fragrance. And if you're wearing fragrances to get the attention of a significant other, look no further. This is going to do that. It smells good, and you're going to keep a lot of money in your pocket. So Davidoff Cool Water still checks the box for me at the price that I get this at. I can't go wrong. I've had 2 or 3 bottles of this in my collection. Been wearing it since it came out. My mom hooked my dad up with a bottle when it first came out, and I loved it. So I was sneaking in, get his, and head out the door. And every time I left the house with it, oh my gosh, somebody smells good. So this has been getting compliments for years now, man. Since the 80s, early 90s, 80s, whenever it came out. Great smelling fragrance, still worth the price of admission. Now I understand that they have lots of flankers to that are pretty good, like the Aquaman and the new intense version of the EDP or whatever it is. But to me, that's still a good one, especially for the price. I mean, that is a criteria in this, what you pay for. All right, y'all. Y'all ask for long videos, man. Y'all certainly get them. Okay. Coach, for me, is this still worth the price of admission? For me, yes, it is. For the simple fact that I can get a bottle this size or maybe a little bit bigger for around $30, and for $30, I like it. I really do. I think it's the best out of the line. Looking at my other Coach fragrances over there, Coach Platinum and Coach Blue, I think this is the best one out of all of them. I really, really fell in love with Coach Platinum when it came out, but it just didn't perform. And it's about $50 for 100 ml, and it performs about like a $20 fragrance. And that's off balance. So I can't really, but that's not in this video though, is it? This one is. This one does what it's supposed to do. So price versus performance on this one, I think it's right where it needs to be. So Coach, you are still worth the price of admission. Another OG in the game. Y'all gonna be mad at me. Invictus. Is this still worth the price of admission? It does perform. It does smell good, but you're looking at $50 for a 50 ml. My favorite that I have from the Invictus line is the Intense. I haven't smelled V yet or any of the other flankers. I want to say, for collection purposes and finishing out the line, because it's such an iconic line, everybody knows this bottle, I got to give it some points. Price on it though, just even though I got this at a discount store, I got mine at TJ Maxx, it was still $49 for 50 ml. I don't know. Tell you what I'm gonna do on this one. Because I can't come to a conclusion on this one. So what I need y'all to do is comment down below. If you see this video, if you get to this point, stop, make a comment. Is Invictus still worth the $49 to $50 price tag that it fetches? And we'll come to that conclusion together, because I need your help on this one. I can't. I can't decide, because the flankers are better. Intense to me is a better Invictus than this is. So it's hard to say. But it's such an iconic fragrance, it's just hard to say. Can't make up my mind on that one. Let's get to an OG. Calvin Klein's Eternity. I'm gonna put this in the air. Now, you can get a nice sized bottle of this, 100 ml bottle of this, for around $30. And I know they've got the Intense out, and I know they've got the EDP out. Is this still worth the price of admission? In my book, yes. Why? Because for the $30 that you're gonna pay for it, you get a very clean, crisp, green, fresh fragrance that is great for the spring, great for the summer and the early fall, which makes it very versatile. It doesn't have an age group, even though it was a fragrance that was made in the 90s. It still smells very modern to a lot of releases today. This smells like a lot of those fresh fragrances that niche companies are releasing and charging hundreds of dollars for. Because a lot of these niche companies are not reinventing the wheel. They're taking old scent profiles like barbershop fougere type fragrances and adding just a little to it, and then charging us an arm and a leg. Like, I think it was something from Clyde Christensen I smelled, and I was like, it smells good, but it smells like a barbershop fougere. It doesn't smell any different than any barbershop fougere type of fragrance that's out there. So why does it demand this price tag? Because of the name that's on the bottle? See, I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that. My niche fragrances are the niche fragrances. That's why I'm such a fan of the House of Unwashed, because they're in their own lane and they don't smell like anything else out there. And to me, that's what a niche fragrance should be. I don't want a mass appealing niche fragrance. I don't. You might, but I don't. So to each his own. But I don't want a mass appealing niche fragrance. That's just me. I want it to smell different. When I walk in a room with my niche colognes on, I want them to be like, that smells different. What is that? That's the whole point of niche to me. This is just timeless. I mean, a man in his 70s could wear this and smell good, and a 19-year-old could wear this and still smell good. And again, this is another one that women smell and they just sniff and they're like, oh, somebody smells good. Somebody smells nice. I think that's what they refer to as this one, because it's a difference in, you wearing a fragrance and somebody being like, ooh, somebody smells good. And then somebody smells nice. There's two different reactions. Either one of them good with me. I mean, I can take them nice. I can take them, take either one of them. Because I've had them both. Just saying. Nonetheless, Calvin Klein Eternity, still worth the price of admission in my book. Guys, we're getting down to the end of this. I think I got 10 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So while we're doing CK, we're going to stick with CK. CK1. Is this worth the price of admission? I think it's a no-brainer. I don't even know why I put it. Oh man, this man. Man, oh man, oh man. That don't take you back to 1994, 95, being in high school. Yes, it is worth the price of admission. And I think this is a beautiful fragrance that people just don't talk about. Look, I managed to get this 6-gallon bottle with the body lotion for about $16 on clearance at TJ Maxx. They had about 6 of them. And it show you how TJ Maxx works and show you why you need to look at the price on anything that they have in there. They had about 6 of them, and all 6 of them, I promise you, had a different price. And the prices started at, because it was somewhat of a gift set, that this and the lotion in it, which the lotion of this smelled amazing. It was one of the first lotions, well, because you don't normally get lotions with a men fragrance. But since this is unisex, I guess they put a lotion with it and not an aftershave or a shower gel. It was just a lotion, but it smelled amazing. It was really, really nice, almost to the point where I almost bought another gift set just to get the lotion. But nonetheless, I think the prices started at $49, and I just kept looking and looking and looking, and I finally found one that said $29. Okay, so I went to the women's section and started. They had 3 or 4 more over there. I got to looking and looking and looking again. Finally saw one that was $16. So I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I grabbed it. I only got one. Went back a few days later thinking, I'm gonna grab maybe one of them $29. All of them were gone. And it was just 2 or 3 days. So you don't think CK1 is still relevant and people still wear this, you're crazy. You're crazy. And this works great in the heat. My climate down here in Alabama. This is an easy reach. Not doing a whole lot. Just nice citrusy, great for the cookout. Nice, again, with the nice V-neck t-shirt on and the khaki shorts or the blue jean shorts, the tennis shoes. If you got on just a nice dry fit shirt and some basketball shorts and some slides. It's not overdressed, it's not too much, it's perfect. Goes well with that type of occasion. CK1, you are definitely still worth the price of admission. 33 minutes into this video. I'm gonna do 2 for 1. Okay, you ready? Paco Rabanne's 1 million and 1 million left. Are these still worth the price of admission? Lucky, yes. Lucky, yes. It doesn't get as much talk as it once did, but for me, that plum note in there, the way it smells, yes, because this is hitting discounters now. You can pick up, I've seen 100 mils of this picked up for $33 to $39. So is this still worth the price of admission? Yeah, it is. Yeah, 1 million Lucky is definitely still worth the price of admission. It does good. If you can get that, 100 mil of that for under $40, it is a win-win-win. Sexy fragrance. Fits all occasions, does what it's supposed to do. Good little fragrance. I think, yeah. I gotta get this one over here. I got 10 of them. 1 million. I've outgrown it. So for me, it's a really, really hard no. I'm gonna have to pass because I don't see this a whole lot at discounters. So for me, it's a hard pass. I'm gonna have to say no. This is no longer worth the price of admission because I just don't find myself in many occasions where I want to reach for this. I don't know. It's one of those situations where I think the flankers are better. I think Lucky is better. I think Privé is better. I think the new Parfum that just come out is better. So if I were going to spend my money today on one of those, it would not be this one. And it's simply because the flankers are better, in my opinion. So hard pass on the Club Banger OG 1 million. Sorry, I know that upset a lot of people. Very nostalgic fragrance for me. Smells really good and I like it. I like it a lot. Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue. This particular version, before the reformulation, is worth the price of admission. The new one, and you can tell by the cap is different. This is kind of a rubbery plastic cap. The new one, reformulated, has a shiny cap. It still smells okay, but I'm gonna have to say it's a pass on the new Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, simply because the Intense is out and the Intense is just better. Now, if you can find this, an older version, it's still worth it. But these are hard to find. That's why I'm still holding on to this little bit of juice right there, because it just smells different. It hits different. It's stronger. It's more masculine. The new light blue for men actually could be unisex and could be worn by a chick, could be worn by a lady, which is nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying, it hits different. It's not like this one. It's just not. And those of you who have the old formulation know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's a yes if you find the older formulation. It's a no if you find the new one. It's just not worth it. Let's get a giant out of the way. The King of Clones, Pretty Venice. Do I love this fragrance? Absolutely. Do I feel good when I wear this fragrance? Absolutely. Does it smell good? Absolutely. Does this fragrance perform good? It does. It does perform good. Does it smell good? Yes. I have an older batch. Don't know the batch code because my old eyes won't focus in on that. I have to get my box to tell you. I know it's an older batch because it's in the 4.2 ounce bottle, and I've stated that many times when I bring this up. And I state that because Creed has changed hands and some of their fragrances have changed a little bit. This is one of them. So in 2021, is the King of Clones still worth the hefty price tag that it fetches? If you can find an older batch and buy it from a trusted, reliable source, is $300 worth it? $400 worth it? Man. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. And here's why. If you want this, you just have to buy it. Because the clones get close, but they're not identical. It's just a hard cologne to clone. Now, do people in the fragrance world love and respect this? Yes. Do civilians know that when you wear this that you're wearing a $400 bottle of Creed? Absolutely not. So in my opinion, this was never worth the price that it fetched. Why? Because you can get that Club De La Man Intense. And it gives you stellar performance for about $30. I don't have it. I went the Insurrection Pure 2 route, which is another great alternative. I'll tell you a fragrance that reminds me of this that was dirt cheap when it was out. But I think it's been discontinued and it's hard to find now. You've heard me mention this one before. And it's Gap Electric, established in 1969. Little square blue bottle. Best cologne Gap has ever made. Compliment getter, magnet, does everything this does. Not quite as fruity, but nowhere near as expensive. So in my opinion, and I hate to say this because I love this cologne, this was a gift from the dear ex-wife, surprised me with it, and I was tickled to get it and thrilled to have it in my collection. And I'm glad I have. And it's hard because I wear this on special occasions. But if she hadn't bought it, would I have it? No, because I never would have pulled the trigger on it. Because it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. My advice to you is, if you're wanting an Invictus type of fragrance, maybe check into buying the Invictus cologne. Maybe try to find you a decan of it. Look for Insurrection Pure 2. Lady in Red is pretty spot on with their replicas. You can look for them. Go find Travis Gearhart, get his version. Kevin Holt has a version. They're all pretty doggone good. Are they 100% exact? No. But ain't nobody gonna know no way. So save your money and go with a clone house. Go with 3-in-1. Go with Dapper. Go with Sensual Obsessions. You know, go another route. That's just my opinion to you. Get one of those fragrances that I mentioned, like Insurrection Pure 2, Club De La Man Intense, or if you want to really, really shock them and you can find that Guess Electric, go with that. Because I've got 2 bottles of that stuff and that stuff smells really, really good. This video is going on 41 minutes, y'all. I'm really surprised that my battery has not popped up dead. I've got 5 left. Let's get one out of the way real quick. One that I have not had in my collection very long. Was ecstatic to get it. My Mike Tyson voice. You know what it is. D squared 2. Wood D squared 2. One thing I like about this bottle is the magnetic cap. But that's about as exciting as it gets, is the magnetic cap. This fragrance was once going for $69. And for $69, if I had paid that for it, I would be greatly, greatly disappointed. I got lucky and got mine for $12. Great atomizer. And it was still going for $69 or $70 when I got it for $12. Remember, I did the video where I got it for $12 because they didn't want to look up the price tag, and they bought a bottle of Chrome Legend up there, which was a 30 ml, and was like, it's charging this price. So they rung up the Chrome Legend, and it was like $12.99, and I was like, so is it a bad smelling fragrance? No, it's not. Does it smell good? Yes, it does. Now for $12.99, did I get it at a good price point? Is price versus performance good for what I paid for it? Wonderful. If I could get this 100 ml for about $24.99, I think then you're at a good price range. Anything more than that, I think you're going to lose on the performance end versus the price. Now, currently, this is selling at Marshalls and TJ Maxx for $29, and at $29, I'll say it's a go at $29, because you understand you're only going to get about an hour and a half of projection with maybe 4 hours of longevity. So $30, you get $29, you add the tax on it, you're looking at maybe $35. That's at the very tip, the very edge of what it might be worth for 100 ml. What I would suggest you do is try to find the 50 ml on clearance, because I think it's about 24 maybe for the 50 ml, 24, 21. If you can find that 50 ml on clearance for about 15, you'll be winning. You'll be winning, because then you're gonna only be out about 20 after tax. This one for $35, it's right there at that edge. It's just hard. So this one, I said if you can get this fragrance for under $30, tax tag and title out the door, it's a win. Anything over $30, I just have to say no. So, and they're asking $29, and I know that $5 may not sound like much. $4 or $5 you're gonna pay on tax may not sound like much, but Does it smell good? Yes, it's a great smelling fragrance. But it just doesn't perform. And it's got to perform or it's got to be cheap. One of the two. And this is coming down in price. So look for this in the clearance sections. I think you're going to see it there because it's not a very well-known fragrance or well talked about. So yeah. Another one that was hyped from the house of Ferragamo, F Black. And this fragrance in a 100 ml bottle can be had for about $19. No brainer. Yes, it is worth the price of admission. Even though it doesn't get the love that it once did. It smells good. Does it smell a little bit synthetic? A little bit. But you have to let it work through all of that. You know, you don't go crazy over the opening. Let it work. Let it dry down on your skin. And you've got a nice semi-powdery masculine fragrance that reminds me of something from the house of Chanel. You know, it's got that kind of a vibe, that kind of a feel to it. A lot of savoir-faire, a lot of mass appeal. So if you're a guy that's looking to add something sexy, romantic, date night worthy to your fragrance collection, this is one that I think is stellar. I think for the 19, and I got this on clearance in a gift set for $18. But I think you can still get this big old 100 ml bottle at Burlington and places like that for $19, $20, $25 at the most. And do I think it's worth that? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think this fragrance in a 100 ml bottle for $24, $25 is absolutely worth it. Performs well, projects well, good longevity, and it smells sexy. You just gotta let it dry down just a little bit and work through it. I was picking these up at one time, and because the first one I bought was a 30 ml, which I still have, and I think I paid $12 for it at Burke's. I was picking these up all day long on clearance in smaller sizes, 50 mils, 30 mils for like $5 and $6. And at that price point, oh my goodness, it's a steal. So 100 mil for 19, yeah. 100 mil for 25 even, yeah. I think that's a good purchase. Okay. From the house of Dunhill, it's Elite. Is it Icon Elite or just Elite? Icon Elite. Dunhill Icon Elite. Now again, I'll just tell you, sometimes I get lucky because I get out and frequent these rack stores, probably more than a lot of people. I got this fragrance on clearance in a gift set for $13. I bought 3 fragrances that day, 3 gift sets. I wasn't 4. 3 gift sets, 2 Dunhill and 1 Christian Ronaldo, in Burke's and Iuka, Mississippi for $38. Right, 3 gift sets for $38, and that's tax tag and title. Tax tag and bag. How about that? Tax tag and bag for $38. This fragrance alone probably sells for $38. Is it worth it? To me, yes. Because I think you can get this for $34, $35. It's not the best performer. Longevity is spotty. Projection is spotty. Okay, Trey, so why do you think it's worth $35? Scent profile. The scent profile. It's not a bad performer. It's not a great performer, meaning it's not going to get you 8 or 9 hours. It's going to get you between that 4 to 6 hour range, and it's going to project between an hour and 2 hours. But to me, this has a very quality, leathery type of scent to it. I like the bottle. I like everything that goes with it. I'm a huge fan of the house of Dunhill. I'm a fan of the Icon line. I intend on getting them all. The Racing, the Icon, the Absolute. I intend on getting them all. I had Icon, which I still have a decant of it, but I traded it with JP for something I don't even remember. But if I can find this on clearance, and I think you can get it online for $34, $35. So is it worth that? I think so. Would I pay $50 for it? No. $50 would be too much, but if you got it for 30 or 35, I think it's worth it. Staying with the house of Dunhill Pursuit, the EDP. Now, is this worth it? Depending on what you pay for it. I think this fragrance can be had for around the $35 mark as well. And is it worth that? Yes. And there goes my battery. I knew that old battery thing. I knew I talked up on it. Is this worth the price of admission for around the $30, $35 mark? Absolutely. Why? Because it smells very modern. It's that very sweet, candy-ish, playful, borderline unisex type of fragrance that everybody's going crazy over now, like the Mason MFK, that Baccarat Rouge 540. I'm not saying it's a clone of that, or I'm not saying it smells like that. I'm just saying it's got that same extremely sweet vibe and feel to it. So I haven't smelled the EDT, so I don't know what it smells like. I can only talk about the EDP. So for the price range, if you get this at a decent price, it does perform good. It does project really, really well, even off my dry skin. So if you can get this under $40 for this is a 50 mil, I think. It may be 100 mil. It's neither. It's right in the middle. It's a 2.5. So it's a 75 mil. So if you can get this for around 35, 40 bucks, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the price of admission. Smells good. Yeah. And I always look for smaller sizes. I know everybody says get the biggest you can if the price is right. But if the smaller size fits your budget and places where you're going to store them, then go with that and be happy. Last but not least, from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, Uomo. And you can tell I have not sprayed that in a while because it did not want to come out. This was once all the rave, all the talk. This is a tester bottle. That's why it doesn't have the funny sprayer like the rest of them. And this is going to make me sneeze. Excuse me for that, y'all. Is this still worth the price of admission? If you get this at Marshalls and TJ Maxx price, Burlington prices, which is $29.99, yes. Yes, guys, this is a sexy date night fragrance. Very sweet, very gourmandy, very different, very well made. Great fragrance. I would say even if you had to pay 40 bucks for this, I think it's still worth the price of admission because it just smells different. And you can tell by the color on the juice what kind of scent it's going to give you. It does perform pretty good for what it is. That's just my opinion. It's a little bit different. I love the scent profile of it. I love the performance on it. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Gourmandy. It says it smells like a tiramisu, but I've never smelled any terries before, so I don't know about it. I ain't smelled no masu either, so I'm a country boy. I know what pancakes and pancake syrup smell like. Sausage. I don't know about no tiramisu. I know what baking smells like, but you know, I digress on that. Guys, thank you for sitting through this extremely long video with your boy. It's been 50 minutes, man. I hope you've enjoyed this concept. Let me know what fragrances that you have in your collection that may no longer be worth the price of admission and what you have that is still worth the price of admission. I've talked for an hour and I am thirsty. I hope I ain't got no white stuff around my mouth. Look like a crackhead, you know. But anyway, that was insensitive. Oh well, it's my channel. But anyway, please be sure to like, thumbs up, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share this video if you like it. Please feel free to always comment in the comment section below. And again, thank you for watching. If you stayed to the end of this video, you are a soldier and I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful Monday. I'm fixing to get up, clean up, hit the highway and go do some looking. Maybe I'll find something. Wish your boy luck. Until next time, y'all. Peace.